What's up guys, Thomas from FT86SpeedFactory, and today we're going to be taking a look at the brand new Open Flash tablet version 2. This is the second version of the Open Flash tablet, or OFT, and it's a flash tuner for your car's engine control unit, also known as an ECU. It plugs right into the OBD2 port underneath the dash, and it tells the ECU to change things like ignition timing and fuel mapping to make more power. The OFT is going to work on a completely stock car and one that has been modified, and right out of the box it already comes with a handful of pre-installed tunes. So basically you take this, you plug it in your car, you press a couple buttons, and it gives you more power. Now you can always reflash your ECU if you make modifications in the future. So say for instance, this is your first mod and you do a tune for a stock car, but later on in the year you get an unequal length header. Now you can get a specific tune for the unequal length header to make sure you get the most amount of power from it, and it also makes sure that you don't get any of those annoying check engine lights popping up. Now, like I mentioned earlier, this is the version 2 of the Open Flash tablet, so now let's get into the reasons why this is much better than the old version, which is now discontinued. Straight away, you can see that the version 2 got a nice facelift. Now the screen sizes are about the same height-wise, but on the version 2, it's a lot wider, giving you almost a full inch more of screen real estate, and it's a much higher resolution screen as well. Now they've also redone the case enclosure, and I like this a lot. It's a much more premium look because the old one kind of felt like a toy. Other than that, it has a faster processor and you get more memory inside, but those are things I can't really show you on the table, so let's go ahead and plug this in. So this is actually the first time I'll be plugging in the OFT 2.0, and since it has a faster processor, I expect it to have a faster boot up time as well. Now this is actually booting up faster than the old version, which is great. Now you're probably going to notice that there's a Ferrari background on the OFT, and don't freak out, this is still the tuner for the FRS BRZ 86. It's just got a universal background because this is a universal tuner that can work on multiple platforms. Now to actually get started, we're going to go ahead and click the tuning button. We're going to choose the make and model of our car, and then we're going to read the tune. So we're going to read the factory tune. We're going to save it to the device so we can always go back to stock whenever we need to. Now at this point, when we're ready to write a new tune, a few people will have a minor problem here. Sometimes the write function will be grayed out, and that just means that the confirmation code from the device to the ECU isn't correctly recognizing each other. So what you have to do is email us at sales@ft86speedfactory.com. We've got the right confirmation code for you, and you just got to do a couple extra steps and you'll be right on track. Now for the tune that we're going to go with for this car, I'm going to go with stage 1 since this car is pretty much stock. The engine is stock, we got a stock header. The only thing we've added is an axle back at this point. We've got the FT86SpeedFactory muffler delete axle back right now. So we're going in stage 1, and when we take it out for a drive in just a minute, I'm going to let the car tell me what it's doing. I'm not going to look up what it's supposed to do, how this tune is supposed to affect it. I'm just gonna go by my butt dyno and relay what I think to you guys. So I've just been driving the car around a little bit, maybe like an hour or two with the stage 1 tune, and it's the same car, it's the same power band, but they've just tweaked it in a couple spots. And it could be the placebo effect, but I think you get, I definitely feel more power in the top end. Like you're getting power all the way to 7,000 RPMs. It's not dying off there. Hold on one second. And you might get a smidge more of mid-range power from like 3,000 to 4,000 RPMs. And it could also be the placebo again, but I feel like there's a slight edge to the throttle response. I think you get a little bit better throttle response with this as well. God, I really do think there's a bit more power in the mid-range torque area. I think that's a part of the tune. I really feel like it is. Okay, I'm in 4th gear doing 35. We're about 2,500 RPMs. This is the mid-range torque. This is right where the torque dip is about at, and I mean, it doesn't surge on, but I feel like there's a lot more than there used to be. It's at least not as sore of a sore spot. And to completely fix this, you'd put on an unequal length header, something like our FT86SpeedFactory one, and then get the tune for that, and the torque dip should be almost gone. Maybe we'll do that in the future. Now that we've taken the car out for a spin, let's talk about the different tune stages that the OFT has to offer. Now stage 1 is the one that we install on the 8.6 because we just have an axle back, or even if you have a cat back, it'll still work for stage 1 as long as you have a stock header. Stage 1 is for stock headers. Now stage 2 is if you have a catted header, and stage 2 plus is if you have a catless header. Now stage 2 plus with 85 is a catless header with 85. But tuning isn't the only thing that the OFT can do. There are a couple features built in, like you can look up and reset check engine lights. You can even monitor real-time engine data, and it gets pretty specific. You can look up air-fuel ratios, ignition advancing, fuel trims. There's a lot of data that you can look up real-time while you're driving the car. And there's also a feature called pedal dance mode that completely turns off all stability and traction control. Now, if you guys watching have an open flash tab, maybe you got the older V1 or you got your hands on the V2 already, let us know your opinion on them in the comment section below. And if you don't have one, we do have them in stock on our website. I'll leave the link down in the description, or you can click right here to head to our website. And if you have any questions at all, feel free to send us an email at sales@ft86speedfactory.com. This is Thomas, and I'll see you guys in the next video.